So if you have a pillow or a blanket or a block, anything you'd like to sit up on top of, you can of course use that. And just a nice easy seat where you can feel the top of your head lifting up a little bit higher. And then allow your shoulders to draw back in space, maybe to the point where you feel your shoulder blades squeeze together, and then allow them to draw down, but then soften a bit. So not coming forward, maybe like you'll notice where your natural holding pattern exists. Mine is like slightly forward, of course. But can you find a little bit more expansion across the collarbones, across the sternum, and then slightly drop your chin just a bit, so you can feel the back of the neck lengthen. Your hands can rest on your knees or your thighs or maybe in your lap. The eyes soft, close, take a breath in. Maybe even open up your mouth, letting out a slow exhale. Maybe even a sigh. And do that just a few more times to settle into the space that you're in, wherever you are. Maybe even just start to notice the subtle or prominent sounds around you. Maybe you start to then, as you get really quiet and calm and still, notice the sound, the subtle sounds within maybe your breath. Can you hear or even just notice the sound of your inhale, nice and slow? The sound of your exhale. And it's like the sound of the ocean, like thinking about it being almost like a wave. So the inhale, and slow exhale. Use your a gentle exhale. Roll your right ear over to the right. And then back through center. And then left ear over to the left. And back through center. You start to lift your chin, maybe even look up towards the ceiling. Look straight ahead here. Start to reach your arms out and up. Take a big breath in. You'll reach up overhead. And then maybe even interlace your fingers and flip your palms up towards the sky. And just to encourage a little bit of a back bend, again, look up towards your hands. And then look straight ahead again. Take your arms out like a T, but your palms will face forward. And with your next breath in, send the back of your hands a little further back behind you, just to feel that stretch across the chest. And then as you exhale, wrap the right arm on top of the left, like you're giving yourself a hug here. You can grab onto your shoulders, maybe inch them a little bit further in towards your upper back, towards your shoulder blades. Take a breath in to lift the elbows and maybe even lift the chin. And then as you exhale, think like cats in the upper back as you start to round, pulling the shoulder blades apart. And then come back up to neutral. Look straight ahead, reach the arms out wide, palms facing forward, but the hands drop back a little bit more. And now it's the left arm on top. Give yourself a well-deserved hug. Your choice where your hands land. Take a breath in, lift your elbows, lift your chin, lift your face. And then exhale to curl in, just slightly rounding forward. And come back to neutral. Arms go out wide one last time. Send the back of the hands behind you. Maybe this time lifting the chin. And then look straight ahead. Lower the hands, let them rest on your thighs. Shrug the shoulders as you breathe in. Draw them back and down as you empty. And then meet me in hands and knees. Tabletop pose. Give your legs a break from sitting in that seat. And with your feet behind you, untuck your toes. So the tops of your feet kind of press into the ground. And you might even take a little bit of movement here. Just moving the tops of the feet towards the ground. And then spread your fingers really wide apart. See if the pads of your fingers can almost grip the ground for support. And then drop the belly, lift the chest, either look straight ahead or think about lifting up a bit, just to your degree, of course. And then as you exhale, maybe draw your chin to your chest. Do that one more time. Inhale to find cow. Exhale to find cat. Come back to neutral. Now reach your right hand forward like you were shaking someone's hand. So your thumb will point up here. So nice. And then start to reach it up towards the sky. And you'll just open up and your hand will face out towards the right. And then reach the hand back behind you. And then let the fingertips graze the ground. So that's your circle. Take a breath in, reach it forward. Open up to the right, reach it up. Reach it back behind you and down. And your circle might be smaller. That's totally okay. It might be bigger than mine. Totally fine. Take one more round in that direction. And then you'll switch. Reach back, up, forward, fingertips graze the ground. Take two more on your own. Back, up, forward, and down. Complete your last one. And meet me in tabletop pose. So that might feel like a lot of work in the shoulders. So I want you to walk your hands up the thighs, rise up onto your knee. Bring your hands to your hips. Take a breath in. Think about opening the chest here. So sending the elbows slightly back, maybe lift the chin. And then come back to neutral. Look straight ahead. Step your right foot forward. And reach both hands up towards the sky here. You can even keep the elbows bent if that's helpful, but take your right hand to your left wrist and lean over to the right. Just leaving a little bit more space in the left hip, in the left side of the body, and then come back up. Take one more breath in to reach the hands out like a T here, just like you did before. Take the back of the hands behind you, a big breath in, and then wrap the right arm on top of the left, either grabbing the shoulders, maybe inching the hands a little closer towards the spine. A breath in to lift the elbows, keep pressing through that front foot for balance. And then as you exhale, think your elbows tapping the inside your right knee to create that flexion in your spine, that rounding in the spine. So nice. Now come back up. Arms go out wide, that wide T, maybe open through the chest if that feels good. And then bring your hands together into your right knee comes to meet the left. Reach the hands out and up, big breath in, and then bring your hands down, tabletop pose. You reset, take a round of cat-cow, drop the belly, lift the chest as you breathe in. Exhale, press your upper back to the sky and drop your head. Now come back to neutral. We'll do that all on the other side. So your left hand this time, reach it forward like you were shaking someone's hand, thumb drawing up. And then as you slowly start to open up here, I want you to feel the palm turn out. Like you were gonna give someone a high five right next to you, and then reach your hand behind you. Thumb still points up here, and then fingertips graze the ground. So you're making that rotation in the shoulder. Reach it forward, reach up, reach back, and come down. Do that one more time. Forward, up, back, and down. And then you'll switch back, up, forward, down. Do two more on your own. You might notice a crack, a pop along the way. Hopefully it's not too loud like mine. And then meet me back in tabletop pose. Walk your hands up your thighs. You'll rise up onto your knees and you'll step your left foot forward, coming into that lunge. See if you can press through your front big toe. So your left big toe, reach your hands up on an inhale. Now it's your left hand that will grab your right wrist and you'll tip over to the left. Just where you start to feel that stretch in the right hip, in between the right ribs a little bit more. And you'll come back up. Arms go out like a T. Take a breath in to send the back of the hands behind you to open through the chest. And now it's the left arm that wraps on top, like you're giving yourself that well-deserved hug. Lift your elbows on an inhale. And then elbows tap inside the knee to encourage that space in between the shoulder blades. That rounding of the upper back, just like you would in cat pose. And you'll come back up, lift the chest, arms go out wide one last time. Bring the hands together in front of you. Pull them into your chest. Left knee comes to meet the right. Reach the arms high. One more big breath in, maybe even look up this time. And then bring the hands to the ground. Tabletop pose. One round of cat-cow. Breathe in to cow. Breathe out to cat. Coming back to neutral. Just slide your legs out in front of you and you'll come into a seat. And see if you can bring the soles of your feet together and your knees out wide. Start to lift up high here with the crown of the head, and your hands can come to your shins, to your ankles, wherever feels good. Take one more big breath in here. And then slowly start to tip forward. And if you'd like, you can start to round here and drop the head. Just stay here for 2 rounds of breath. And we'll lift back up. And if you have a pillow close by, awesome. You might want to have it close by to you. But we're going to start to lie down on our back. So you slowly make your way. Make sure you have enough space behind you. And just take a long body stretch here to start. So maybe even roll out the ankles, the wrists, fan out the fingers and toes. So nice. And then take your arms down along your sides just for support. Bend your knees to start here. And take your feet a little bit wider apart and just knock your knees together here. Take a breath in and reach both hands up towards the ceiling. Your palms will face one another. And then start to slowly take the arms out like a T here, just straight out. And just laying like this might be enough to feel this opening across your chest. Sometimes we spend so much time with our shoulders forward that just lying with our arms out like a T on the ground, supported by the earth, is enough to feel that expansion and creating that space. If you'd like to stay in stillness here, of course, you can stay. Or you can start to roll onto your left side here. You're just going to roll onto your left side. Now stay with me. Reach your left hand forward so it would stay with your palm facing up here. And if you want, you can bring a pillow underneath your head or just let your head hang. For me, sometimes a block or pillow underneath my left ear or the left side of my head can be really nice just to like support this space. But then I just want you to take your right hand and also reach it in front of you, so towards the side of your mat, and bring your palms together. So kind of similar to what we did before when we were in a lunge. When you're going to press your palms together, so your left arm will stay here. And if you want, you can even bring your knees closer towards you a bit. We're going to create a little bit of a twist here, but with this opening or a stretch in the pec muscle in the right shoulder here. So you'll stay here for a moment, take a breath in and a breath out. And then like you were opening up a book or creating a rainbow, start to reach your right fingertips over, up towards the ceiling. And then keep your left hand where it is. Keep your left hip where it is. Start to turn your head, look up towards the ceiling. Now you can let your right arm just hang where it is. If that's really intense, start to bring your arm down at a lesser angle than like 90 degrees. You can bring it closer towards that right hip. And you can play with that, maybe even taking your right hand as the palm is facing up towards the sky. You might think about tracing, like we call it like tracing the horizon with your right fingertips, just to get into the right pec muscles. If you feel like the back of your right hand really wants to come to the ground and rest there, awesome. If it is like, whoa, way too intense to even reach for that space, I'd say back off and just find that gentle movement with opening up. If you find one spot where you really love to stay and breathe, I encourage you to stay and breathe. If that's a little too much, you can even bend the right elbow and just let the elbow come to the ground. So all just options, right? Like you have this buffet of options, but you use this as an opportunity to explore and to listen to maybe what your body needs. So you're in a spinal twist, but you're also getting this like deep opening in the shoulder. Take a few more rounds of breath wherever you are. Whether you're moving or you are in stillness, a full breath in, a full exhale out. One more like that. Inhale, slow exhale. So nice. And now we're going to close that book. So reach your right hand up to the sky, reach it up, reach it up. Let your torso kind of follow in motion as you bring your right palm to meet the left. Maybe you let your head rest back on that block or pillow or blanket. Take a breath in. Maybe you can open up the mouth, letting out a sigh. You'll make your way onto your back. So even your knees follow as you just come back to center. I need to take a moment in neutral here. So bring your arms down along your sides. Wiggle, walk your feet a little wider apart and knock your knees together. And maybe even bring your hands right to your belly here. Close your eyes. You're coming back to that internal awareness of the sound of your breath. Like a wave here. Breath in and out. One more like that. Fill all the way up. Maybe even feel your belly expand into your hands. Open your mouth. Slow exhale. Stay here as long as you need, or roll onto your right side. And take that all on the other side. So your whole body comes on. It's like you're in like the little like fetal position on the right side. So you're in the right hip. You extend the right arm forward, like the palm facing up, but you were holding like a plate or a platter. And then you can bring your knees to a place that feels comfortable. The closer they are to you, the and it will feel different. Basically, your twist will feel very different if your knees are away from you, further down your mat rather, than if they're in close. So just play with that. You know, you can switch or shift where your knees land. And then bring your arms out long in front of you, palm to palm. Your hands will touch. And keep your right ear down on that pillow or a block. And then start to reach like you were opening up that book. Reach your left hand up to the sky. Feel your torso follow. Everything else stays the same. Then maybe start to shift your gaze up towards the ceiling. So your upper chest, nothing in the lower body really changes. You just start to open the chest up here. And then right away, like this is where I feel that point of resistance. And so I'll stay here and maybe I'll just glide my hand along the horizon. Maybe you do the same thing. Maybe you find a point where you're like, whew, I'll stay, I'll breathe. If it's too much, lessen that degree, right? Like bring the arm closer, or bend the elbow and bring that elbow close in towards you, and then play with where the forearm goes. So many options. Just listen to your body. You have about 5 to 10 rounds of breath. Your breath is your most important piece of your yoga practice, right? Also, the most versatile tool that you have when you're not on a yoga mat. So, breathing into that slight discomfort or stretch or experience, maybe even using it as like feedback, your body telling you what it needs. Rather than viewing our body as it being a nuisance in that experience. Maybe meeting that with a little bit of nourishing energy. Maybe just by taking a few softening breaths. Just one more full inhale. Find ease on your exhale. When you feel complete with that, reach your hand up to the sky. We'll close that book. Taking a pause with your hands coming together out to the side. Full breath in. Maybe open your mouth. Sigh it out. And rolling onto your back, pausing in neutral because we did have the spine in that twist for a little bit of time. And make sure you come back to neutral in between our twists. So heel toe your feet a little wider, knock your knees together. Should feel really nice on the low back. Bring your hands maybe to your belly or return to that out to the side T shape. Whatever feels grounding, supportive. You can keep that pillow underneath your head. If it doesn't feel right in the neck, remove it. Full breath in. Open your mouth. Slow exhale. And then open and close your mouth a few times. Maybe even move the jaw around if that feels okay. Notice if you're holding any tension in the jaw. See if you can soften it. Maybe just take a swallow. It's a gentle. You can choose to keep your knees bent for your final rest, or if you need any other final poses before you find your shavasana, your final relaxation, feel free to take that. If you'd like to let your legs go long on the ground, if that feels supportive, take that. Your arms can be down along the sides and hands on your belly. Maybe it felt grounding and really nice just to like take up space, or you take your arms out wide like before. No rules here. Take that big breath in right here. Huge exhale. Allow the eyes to close. They have them already. And just a little body scan here in our relaxation together. Bring your awareness to your toes, the bottom of your feet, your ankles, to your shins, and even the back of your legs to your calf muscles. Front and back of your knee, front and back of your thigh, to your hips, all the muscles surrounding. And you let them relax, release, and soften. And bring your awareness to your belly, and your low back, to your mid back, your upper back, center of your chest, to your shoulder, and arm, to your elbows, and your forearm, to your wrist, and palms of your hands, and go to the tips of your fingers. Allow them to relax, to release, and to soften. Bring awareness to the back of your neck, and the sides of your neck, and the front of your throat. The muscles of your jaw, maybe even the muscles of your tongue, and your mouth. And allow them to relax, to release, and to soften. The muscles in your cheeks, around your eyes, your eyebrows, and even your forehead, even the top of your head. And you let those muscles relax, release, and soften. Fine in this state of stillness, exactly as you are, not needing to fix or fight or change anything at all. And just breathe, big breath, slow inhale, slow exhale. Breathing in and out. Last one. And you can open up your mouth. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers, toes, maybe even rocking your head gently side to side. And bend your knees. And roll to the side of your choice. And then just press yourself up to a seat. Nice and easy. Sitting up nice and tall, maybe even bring your hands together in front of your heart and take one big breath in together. Breathe out. And take your thumb tips to the center of your forehead. Maybe even lift your chin, lift your face. Just a reminder here to be kind to yourself, knowing that you are doing your best. And your best may just look different and does look different every single day, every single moment. Namaste.